Good evening and thank you for joining Newswatch at 11. I'm Rebecca Fernandez. The West Virginia House of Delegates voted on whether or not to sell the Jackie Withrow Hospital in Beckley. Newswatch's Ashley Cafaro has the story.
The West Virginia House of Delegates voted on Friday to close the Jackie Withrow Hospital in Beckley. The hospital is owned by the state and could affect several workers and 90 patients.
That bill does away with about 120 jobs in the Beckley area, and we very much need those jobs. And also, the patients that are in that hospital have a very high acuity.
Some delegates came forward voicing their concerns on why the hospital should remain open.
This issue creates unnecessary anxiety amongst the residents, their families and the employees, because we don't know what the answer is. The Secretary says he wants to look at it, he wants to come up with an answer, but he's not even sure he can do that.
While other delegates say they are in favor of the hospital closing.
Those hospitals have not been very well taken care of. They are in bad shape. They can't be repaired for anywhere near the cost of rebuilding them. And the best thing that we can do is to take good care of the patients, get them out into a legitimate private facility, and dispose of the asset.
Although the bill did pass to close the Jackie Withrow Hospital in Beckley, it still has to go to the Senate and then to Governor Jim Justice. In Charleston, I'm Ashley Cafaro reporting for Newswatch.
The Raleigh County Sheriff's Office will charge a Beckley woman who was hurt Thursday in Coolridge after deputies say she led them on a chase. 25-year-old Brittany Hudson went to the local hospital right after the chase ended. According to the Register-Herald, a deputy saw a car pull out from a Beaver gas station and began driving erratically. The car's taillights were out and the sheriff's office says Hudson refused to stop. She lost control and crashed in Coolridge. The Beckley-Raleigh County Drug and Violent Crime Unit arrested a 51-year-old from Beckley for having meth and marijuana. Investigators say Anzem Holder had 15 ounces of meth and 4 ounces of weed. They also found 9 guns. The street value of the drugs is estimated at $85,000. Holder posted a $25,000 bond after being arraigned. The West Virginia Senate's Health and Human Resources Committee narrowly passed a bill Friday morning that would allow certain patients to be prescribed marijuana for medical purposes. The bill, called the West Virginia Medical Cannabis Act, now goes to the Senate Judiciary Committee. If it passes there, it would also have to pass a full vote in the state Senate and then in the House of Delegates. Several amendments were passed Friday before it was ultimately approved on a 6-5 vote. The Nicholas County Sheriff's Department says a man with a semi-automatic rifle robbed the hometown pharmacy in Craigsville on Thursday. They say Danny E. Fowler of Tioga was wearing camouflage with his face covered. Fowler allegedly stole the SKS rifle and 200 rounds of ammo from a family member. Deputies recovered a stolen Polaris four-wheeler that was used in the robbery in a secluded wooded area of Craigsville. Fowler is still on the run and is considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information, contact the Nicholas County Sheriff's Department and surrounding agencies. West Virginia environmental officials say coal slurry has leaked into the Crooked Run near Peytona in Boone County, which is just south of Charleston. The Department of Environmental Protection said in a news release on Thursday that an imminent harm cessation order was issued for the Admiral Processing Operation, which is an affiliate of Alpha Natural Resources. Last night, the newly elected Raleigh County Sheriff came out to support a local organization. Sheriff Scott Van Meter made a visit to the Raleigh County Crime Watch to talk about how the area has been doing since he took over in January. Van Meter spoke about the Drug and Violent Crimes Task Force and some of the drug busts they have made lately, but the main reason he was there was to present a check to the group. The money was left over from his recent campaign, and Van Meter says he has been working hard to keep his campaign promises to the people of Raleigh County.
When campaigning, I said I was going to do certain things, and I meant it, and I've done it. We wanted to join WIVX, which is Intelligence Exchange, ICAC, which is Internet Crimes Against Children. State police help us get into that. They go after child pornography targets in the state and in the county. And then, I told people we were going to beef up patrols, which we've done. We added this extra crime patrol, and, we're out here doing what we can.
West Virginia's jail and prison systems are updating the way they handle inmate mail in an attempt to crack down on contraband smuggling. Inmates will now get photocopies of their mail, according to a news release from the West Virginia Department of Military Affairs and Public Safety. The original copies will be shredded. The release said the measure is specifically designed to cut down on forms of synthetic drugs which can be coded on mailings. And today, House Republican leaders were short of the votes needed for their health care overhaul bill, hours ahead of a vote demanded by President Donald Trump. ABC's Mary Bruce has all the details.
We've been told the bulletin pulled.
Tonight on Capitol Hill, this stunning acknowledgement. Republicans have failed to deliver on their signature promise to the American people.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than Obamacare is the law of the land. It's going to remain the law of the land until it's replaced. We did not have quite the votes to replace this law. And so, yeah, we're going to be living with Obamacare for the foreseeable future.
The day began with a frenzy of activity, an all-out push to get enough Republicans on board to pass the bill.
Mr. Speaker, can you get this done? Do you have any tricks up your sleeve?
Publicly, the party leaders sounding optimistic.
Congressman, you expect a vote today?
Yes, I do.
But by mid-morning, it was clear conservative Republicans were standing their ground.
There's no more negotiations. There's no negotiations.
It's done. Not going to pass.
Yeah. So the only thing going on now is basically arm twisting.
Those conservatives, the focus of an intense lobbying effort by the White House. As an olive branch, President Trump agreed to change the bill so insurance companies would no longer be required to cover basic health care services, like maternity care, drug and mental health treatment, and even emergency room visits. But that was still not enough to get the conservatives on board. What it did do, give moderate Republicans a serious case of the jitters. More and more coming forward to say they could not vote yes. Meanwhile, at the White House, the closer-in-chief who had demanded an up or down vote today was playing coy.
We'll have to see.
Do you think it's going to pass?
See what happens.
Did you rush it, do you think?
We'll see what happens.
That's correct.
On the House floor, the debate already 3 hours underway. Democrats railing against what they were calling Trump care.
On this bill, there's only one option, and that option is to vote no.
As the hours ticked by, it became increasingly clear this bill could not pass. With reporters staked outside his office, House Speaker Paul Ryan quietly travels to the White House to break the news to President Trump. As the president and speaker had lunch, the White House press secretary told reporters the vote was moving forward.
The leader and the whip are, doing their vote counts. The debate is ongoing. We're going to continue. We are proceeding with a 3:30 vote as scheduled.
But it was not to be. Back on the Hill, the speaker calling an emergency meeting of House Republicans. And just minutes later, at 3:31 p.m., as the vote was expected to begin, the announcement.
Further consideration of H.R. 1628 is postponed. The chair declares the House in recess subject to the call of the chair.
Ryan pulling the bill.
We were on the cusp of fulfilling a promise that we made. We were on the cusp of achieving an ambition that we've all had for 7 years, and we came a little short.
Defeated Republicans, their heads hung low. And for the conservative leader who stood in the way,
Congressman, is healthcare dead?
Mary Bruce, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
A federal appeals court will hear arguments in May in a challenge to President Donald Trump's revised travel ban targeting 6 predominantly Muslim countries. The Richmond, Virginia-based 4th U.S. Court of Appeals has set a hearing for May 8th to consider the Trump administration's appeal of a federal judge in Maryland's ruling that prohibited the enforcement of the travel ban nationwide. The Maryland ruling and a separate ruling in Hawaii were victories for civil liberties groups and advocates for immigrants and refugees who argued that Trump's temporary ban on travel from these 6 countries violated the Constitution. The Trump administration argued that the revised executive order was intended to protect the United States from terrorism. Vice President Mike Pence will be visiting Putnam County this weekend. A representative of the Putnam County Sheriff's Office and State Republican Party Chairman Conrad Lucas confirmed the vice president will be visiting the county on Saturday. Details about Pence's visit were not immediately available. An online notice posted by the Federal Aviation Administration said that airspace will be restricted on Saturday in the Charleston area from about 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Still to come on Newswatch at 11, Bluefields College will host its 7th annual Celebration of Appalachia. Plus, the McDowell Board of Education is planning to cut 40 positions in the upcoming school year. Those stories and more coming up on Newswatch. West Virginia University's experimental rocketry team is planning a test next month on its 12-foot fiberglass rocket leading up to the international competition later this year. The team will travel to Maryland in April for the first test flight at a Triple Rocketry Association event. So far, the team has used simulations to gauge the rocket's mechanics. The test flight will provide an opportunity to make any needed adjustments. The team is preparing for competition at Spaceport America Cup near Las Cruces, New Mexico in June. More than 110 teams from colleges and universities in 11 countries are expected to attend. The West Virginia University team's rocket is designed to carry 8.8 pounds of payload 10,000 feet into the sky. Bluefields College will host its 7th annual Celebration of Appalachia on April 3rd until the 8th, featuring, as always, the traditional day-long Appalachian Festival on Saturday, April 8th. Open to the community and featuring local artists, crafters, musicians, cooks, authors, storytellers, outdoorsmen, and many more, the Appalachian Festival will run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Dozens of vendors took part in the celebration last year, and the college hopes even more will participate this year. The celebration is meant to increase the understanding and appreciation of the rich history, culture, people, and traditions of the region. For more information, go to bluefield.edu/Appalachia. Tomorrow night, Grant Supermarket presents Adair's Run at the Chuck Mathena Center in Princeton, West Virginia. Come on out to see Princeton native Todd Hancock and his bandmates Pat Polifrone, Ian Daughtery, and Chad Yarger. All proceeds benefit the Princeton and Bluefield locations of the Salvation Army. The event is general admission only and tickets are $15. The show begins at 7 p.m. The McDowell Board of Education is planning to cut 40 positions in the upcoming school year. Reduction in the county student population and loss of excess levy revenue are compelling the McDowell County Board of Education to cut 40 service and professional positions during the upcoming school year. The Board of Education held a special meeting this week for 10 reduction in forced employee hearings. Superintendent Nelson Spencer said recommendation terminations are sent out for the next school year. Employees are allowed to have hearings before the board in order to say why a termination should not happen, and they are allowed to have representation at these hearings. He said since livelihoods are involved, school employees are encouraged to have representation. The Summers County School of Practical Nursing is accepting applications for the 2017-2018 class, which begins on October 2nd. The program is a 12-month course accredited by the West Virginia State Board of Examiners for licensed practical nurses. Classes begin the first Monday in October and end the following September. Class and clinical sessions are Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. 22 students are accepted into the program each year. The West Virginia Division of Natural Resources will host the 12th annual West Virginia Archery in the School State Tournament at the Charleston Civic Center this Saturday. The event will run from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., followed by an award ceremony at 4:30. The students that qualified to participate come from schools from all over the state. Everyone is encouraged to attend and watch some of the best student archers in the state compete for top honors. The admission fee to watch the tournament is $5 for adults and $3 for children. Children under the age of 6 get in free. Stick with us. Chief Meteorologist Tyler Barker has your full forecast when we return.
A good Friday evening. I'm Stormwatch Chief Meteorologist Tyler Barker. Currently outside right now, 62 degrees in Beckley. We have clear skies, a southwest wind at about 9 miles an hour. Temperatures have been very warm out there today. Radar right now is all quiet. We are just seeing a few clouds entering the area. The rain, though, and storms are out over parts of Arkansas, Missouri, and down into Louisiana. Notice, though, there is a strong low pressure system. You can see it swirling right here. That is the low pressure, and it is producing some severe weather as well. That'll be moving in going into Sunday. Now, temperatures right now, we're at 59 here in Oak Hill, 57 down in Athens, 59 in Bluefield, 53 as you go out into Pineville. Temperatures across the rest of the region, 68 in Nashville, 70 in Little Rock as well as Jackson, 62 down in Tallahassee. We are still at the 11 o'clock hour right here running around 20 to as much as 22 degrees warmer right now than we were this time last night. It just shows you that warm southerly flow coming up from the south thanks to this high pressure just off the coast pumping in that warm air, but there is that cold front and it's going to be marching across the central United States and bringing us some rain chances and even some storm chances as we go into the day on Sunday. Here's a look at Futurecast showing those clouds overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Temperatures will not be that cold tonight, only low 50s, and then by tomorrow afternoon we are right around the low 70s. Temperatures will continue to warm into the late afternoon hours, and then we'll start to cool off down into the 60s and eventually the 50s. Notice though by Sunday morning 6-7 o'clock we start seeing some more clouds build in and maybe an isolated shower, and then going into the lunchtime hour you'll notice we have a line of showers that move through, and then notice on the far corner of your screen there's some like discrete storm cells over there. That's the ones we'll have to watch that could be on the severe side. Notice this line coming through around 6-7 o'clock Sunday evening. This could pack a punch. This could be some severe weather, maybe some damaging winds or some large hail, something we'll continue to monitor as we go through the next couple of days. With the high pollen, or with the low rainfall here and warm temperatures, means the pollen is high over the next couple of days. Sunday we have a little bit of dip thanks to some rain, but we're back up into the high category on Monday. Overnight tonight, 51 in Mullins, 47 in Pineville, 49 in Oceana, 52 in Summersville, 46 in Meadowbridge, 47 in Alderson. For tomorrow, I do think Wyoming and McDowell counties, you could run near the 80-degree mark tomorrow. So a very warm day. I think on our eastern slopes we will see temperatures in the upper 60s, close to 70 degrees, the low 70s as you go into Fayette and on into Nicholas, maybe even Summers County and Monroe. Your 7-day forecast has temperatures in the 60s on Sunday, but still mild at that 70% chance of showers and storms. Temperatures overnight creep up into the low 50s. 70 on Monday with a few morning rain showers will dry out Monday afternoon. More showers and storms in the forecast on Tuesday and Wednesday. Notice though temperatures stay in the low 60s and mid 60s. More rain and storms will return to the forecast by the end of next week. Stick around. Matt has a full look at sports when we return.
Good evening. For the third straight year, West Virginia men's basketball surpassed 25 wins in a season, but for the second time in 3 years, the Mountaineers season would end in the NCAA Sweet 16. Bob Huggins' squad falling 61-58 to top seed Gonzaga last night in San Jose in a very physical contest, with the teams combining for 51 fouls. Bulldogs taking the lead for good in the final minute on a three-pointer from Jordan Matthews. WVU would have multiple chances to tie the game at 61, but was unable to do so, while West Virginia was able to keep the game close throughout the night. Despite a low shooting percentage, the Mountaineers are aware that this was an opportunity lost.
You tell me another team in the country can shoot 26% from the field against the number one seed, 21% from three, and still could have, should have won the game. And I think that says a lot about what kind of guys we have.
If you ever played basketball and you always dream of going to the Final Four, winning a national championship, playing at this stage, and to know you were so close and you gave everything you had and to come up short, you know, it hurts. But for me, I can't let this this game hurt me too much.
Well, the All-State basketball teams from all 6 categories being released this week. We've seen many area players honored from Class Single A and Double A. And on Friday, the announcements were made for the girls' Class AAA teams. Southern West Virginia has one representative on the second team, Greenbrier East freshman Haley McClure, while 2 Princeton Tigerettes were on the third team, freshman Taylor Scott and senior Jamie Vest. 5 players were named honorable mention: Lakin Ball of Beckley, Autumn Bradley and Day-Day Eves of Princeton, and Kiara Smith and Katie Wilmer of Greenbrier East. The boys' Class AAA All-State teams will be announced in the next few days. High school baseball on Friday, Oak Hill hosting Liberty. Raiders with the 3-0 lead early. Bomb in the first, 2 runners in scoring position for Noah Craddock. His ground ball gets into right field. Dawson Nybert would score. Oak Hill is on the board, makes it a 3-1 game. Next batter, Caleb Jones to second. Tyler Mullins and Chris Begley able to get the force out, but Jonathan Lyons would score, and Oak Hill would go on to tie the game at 3 after the first inning. But the middle innings of this game belonged to the pitchers. Bloomfield would strike out Mullins swinging as Bloomfield would strike out the side in the second, but Dylan Basherwood had success pitching pitching to contact. Brody McDonald with the ground ball. Nathaniel Griffiths throw to Begley in time, and the game would stay tied at 3 after 2 innings. Top of the third, Bloomfield continues his success on the mound. He strikes out Timmy Daniels to end the inning. Red Devils have a chance to take their first lead of the game in the bottom of the 3rd inning, but Basham answers by striking out Lyons, and Liberty would go on to get the win on the road. Final score 8-4. High school softball on Friday, Oak Hill hosting Richwood. Top of the 1st, Emily McPherson at bat for Richwood. Deep fly ball to left field. That lands, allowing McPherson to reach second on a sliding double. Lady Jacks have a runner in scoring position, but Kylie Dickinson would strike out Casey Amick for out number 3 to end the inning. Oak Hill with the chance to open the scoring in the bottom of the 1st. Abby Ward at the plate. She takes a deep fly ball to right center field. That lands. Ward with a standing double, and the Lady Red Devils would later load the bases as they look to take the lead early in the game. But with Bethany Anderson at the plate, Corey Yance with a called strike 3. The game will be scoreless after the 1st inning. Top of the 2nd, Lady Jacks would have a runner on 3rd base for Krista Merrill. Low line drive into left field. Katie Bullen scores. Richwood would score 3 in the 2nd inning. Oak Hill trying to respond to the bottom of the frame. Yance striking out Cheyenne Mangini to end the inning as Richwood goes on to win on the road. Final score 12-5. In Raleigh County, Independent softball hosting James Monroe. Lady Babs, the defending runners-up in Class AA. Top of the 1st, Emily Ward deals to Alexis Carter, gets her to pop up, ball drifting into foul territory. Ashley Sexton able to make the catch as she goes to ground. Later in the inning, Lady Mavs getting a few runners on base, but Ward able to pick up a called 3rd strike. And the very next batter, Savannah Sykes for James Monroe. Ward gets her swing to get out of the 1st and keep it a scoreless game. Home half of the inning, Independence would capitalize on opportunities. Sexton at the plate with a runner on 1st. She drives one into the gap in the left center. That ball bounces up against the wall, and that buys Nicole Kester enough time to round 3rd and score for the Lady Patriots. Very next batter, Caroline Parrish. She would take one to right field. Looks to be playable. It gets down, and that means Sexton is able to score, and the Independence Lady Patriots extend their lead. They go on to get the win. Final score 12-3. More high school baseball scores from Friday. Greater Beckley winning in walk-off fashion at home against Nicholas County. Independence winning at Westside. Summers County, James Monroe, and Pikeview also winning their respective games tonight. Softball scores. Independence actually taking part in a doubleheader with the Lady Patriots winning also against Summers County. So 2 wins on Friday for Ken Atkins' team. Shady Spring winning 12-2 at Fayetteville. The Lady Tigers have now won 2 straight, while the Lady Pirates will host Wyoming East tomorrow. And college baseball games on Friday. West Virginia entered the 9th inning trailing Jacksonville 3-1, but scoring 4 in the 9th, including a walk-off home run from Jackson Kramer to win 5-3. The Mountaineers and Dolphins will play a doubleheader tomorrow in Morgantown. Concord splitting a doubleheader today at West Liberty. The Mountain Lions visit Wheeling Jesuit later this weekend, while WVU Tech loses both games of its doubleheader at Rio Grande. Well, tomorrow and Sunday, Tom will announce our 2017 WOAY Boys and Girls Basketball Players of the Year. That does it for sports. We'll be right back.
Final look at your 7-day forecast. Overnight tonight, temperatures will be right around 50 degrees. We'll see a warm up into the low 70s on Saturday. A very warm, nice, dry day. And then storms move in on Sunday with temperatures in the low 60s. Some of those storms could be on the strong to severe side. And then we'll see temperatures back to 70 on Monday, with a 40% chance of a few lingering morning showers. Notice, though, as we go into Tuesday, the unsettled weather continues with showers and storms. Temperatures in the mid-60s. 60s continue all the way through the next work week, but there is some showers and storm chances as we continue to round out the week next week, but overnight lows will be in the low to mid-40s.
That's all the time we have for Newswatch at 11. Thanks for joining us, and good night.